Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Sorry I've been away. I actually had recorded a video of me making these, and well, I had to clean out my room for storage space, and guess who deleted the videos on accident? Yep, this guy. So I had to remake a video. I apologize for it taking so long to get one out to you guys, but I promise you it will be worth it. These skulls were so much fun to make, but I'm kind of glad the other video disappeared because I literally had busted open 2 of my fingers demolding these guys. They really suck to demold. I wish the silicone was just a wee bit softer. But I went ahead and used some red foil flake and painted the inside of the skull. And 2 of these are going to go to my son's girlfriend. They've been dating for, oh goodness, 5 years, and she wants one for inside her PC and one for on her desk. So we're going to do some in epoxy, and we're going to do some in ceramic. And we knew which epoxy one she wants, but the ceramic one, well, she's going to have to pick from a whole array of them. I did not record at the end of this me demolding everybody because there was just way too many skulls, but I definitely did put a video at the end where you can see every single one of them that I have made, and there's a few. So please bear with me. Please watch the video all the way through. I'm getting so close to having all my watch time hours. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It is free and it helps my channel out a lot. I am under 400 subscribers away from the 1,000 that I need to become a YouTube partner, and that's the goal, and I would appreciate everyone's help in this. Now, I got this ocean white in a set from Let's Resin almost a year ago. I have not used it, and I'm not 100% sure why this thing is leaking, but it's getting everywhere, just everywhere. And the skull with the red glitter flake, that is glitter flake. It's red foil flake, excuse me. It's actually made for nails, but you get this ginormous package of, like, goodness gracious, probably, I want to say, I think it was 15 or 16 different colors. I'll link it in the description. It was like $10, and it's those little jars are packed tight. So this stuff is amazing. But she wanted the red with the white because she saw a black and red one that I had made that my son stuck in his pocket and said, "Thanks for the present, Mom." And I was like, "What present?" He goes, "Oh, nothing." And then when he stood up, his pants almost fell down and he had to cop to it. But I've mixed in some of the Let's Resin Ocean White, and I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of just straight white. It needs some sort of pearl, some sort of effect, something just bleh, white, yuck. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out a... yep, that's what it's called. A mica powder. There we go. As soon as I can find the right color. I have so many mica powders inside this drawer. It's ridiculous. If you hear any background noise, y'all, please forgive me. I am sitting outside because it is a beautiful day. And we don't have many of those here in Texas. But there it is. The pearl white mica from Kisrael. It comes in their kit. I definitely recommend the Kisrael kit to anybody who's looking or just starting out. Number one, Kisrael is an amazing resin. I have had no issues when it comes to bubbles. Even when I use inclusions, I just don't get the issue. I have a vacuum chamber that I purchased at the beginning of the year that is still sitting in the box and has never been used because this resin just, it has no cause for it. It just doesn't. I've had no issues. It degasses beautifully, just absolutely beautifully. But I'm going to get this mica mixed in, and we're going to do a little something more to it because it's still, you know, just white. And if I was going for an all-white skull, oh, this would have been glorious. But, you know, I just want it to have some oomph to it. Get that stirred in really good. I'll wipe the edges of the cup so I don't have no loose powder anywhere when I pour. Get it all nice and mixed in because you never want any pigments of any form loose. Now I have these interference powders from Rolio. Once again, not 100% impressed with them. I'm going to have to try different brands because they just don't interference, if you know what I mean. I mean, they're very, I understand that interference is supposed to be subtle, but I want to know they're there, even though it's a subtle that they're there. And these ones have a hard time showing up. This one, it really didn't matter because it is going behind the red glitter. But this one does have the red tint to it, and I was hoping it would do something. Maybe it did, but like I said, it ended up way more red foil in there than I thought I had put. But I'm going to get that mixed in really well. That's another thing about the Rolio interference powders. They are really hard to get to break down in your resin. I don't know if all interference powders are, because I've only used just this one, and then I have one from Saya, which Saya I had no issues with it breaking down. But these ones, I don't know if they were old and just sitting in Amazon's warehouse. I by no means blame Rolio. Please forgive the background noise. I by no means blame Rolio. Amazon has a habit of just cramming things in the warehouse and just, I mean, they don't refresh the supply. They don't remind the suppliers to refresh the supply once things get older. And I think that has a lot to do with it. But I'm going to get this all mixed in. And I am using the Kisrael Deep Pour Resin because these boogers are deep. While I'm not a fan of the length of time it takes deep pour to cure, I am a fan of no flash cure. And not having to pour in multiple layers. So I'm going to go ahead and get this poured in here and pray to the resin gods I have made enough. And give the little cheeky bones a squish, because bubbles do like to get trapped in those little cheekbones if you use these molds. Always squeeze your cheekbones, always squeeze your eyeball holes, try to squeeze out your little nose hole, because bubbles will get trapped in there, and that's the last thing you need. It's more of a deep pocket than an actual little bubble. Give it a bounce, give it a squish, give it a, as Steve McDonald says, a tappy wappy. And nope, the resin gods are not with me. I did not make enough, so I'm going to mix up a little bit more. And get this demonoid filled. Wipe up the little spillage on the mat. I think I need to get a new mat. This mat is actually ginormous. It goes on my curing table. I don't call it a heat mat because the thing is literally a ginormous table. And I've never used it either, and I bought it a year ago, but it sure does look cool sitting on the table over there because it's in a whole different room for some reason. Probably because it don't fit on my crafting area. I have two L-shaped computer desks for my crafting table that are put together in a U shape, and it's just not wide enough for the table. I really should have took that into concern when I went, ooh, I want the big one. But I'm going to go ahead and finish filling this skull. And the little bit that we have left, I am going to pour in the skull that we have been layering, which I did forget to put in this video, but I will show on a later video. That thing. Oh my goodness, the way that thing looks is just crazy. But I'm going to scooch this over here so it's out of my way because I don't want to get anything from any of the other projects in it. Wipe up the mess that I managed to make because, well, we all know me. If I'm not making a mess, I'm not crafting and I'm not having fun. Yep, there he is. Boy, he is interesting, y'all. I'm not even 100% sure. I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to do with him. He's so bad. But I'm going to finish him off today. We've been pouring him for a few weeks now, but he's so bad. But I will definitely get him into a video in the near future so you guys can see that sometimes, just sometimes, those extras turn out a little bit extra, if you know what I'm saying. that little tiny skull down there that decided to pop off the little upper portion of the shelf that I have mounted. Yeah, he ends up getting in my way. Very annoying. Get this sorted out here. Pull off my gloves because, oh, my hands cannot breathe in them gloves. I'm going to use one of my big cups because we're going to use mixed mold. Yeah, let's do some of that. Now, one of these buckets of mixed mold that I got, there was definitely something wrong with the batch. I'm very cautious when I'm mixing them. I know exactly what consistency it should be. And even with the proper consistency, even with measuring it properly, doing all the right things you're supposed to do with it, it still had an issue that when it was curing, it was like the water was pushing up out of it and puddling on top. It was an issue with one bucket, not an issue with the other bucket. Now, I will say the bucket that I had the issues with when I got it, the safety tab that you pull off to pull the lid off was completely missing. The lid was off. The bag and the bucket were all, the three pieces were just laying separate in the box. So I don't know if that correlates with what the issue was, but it's okay. We'll work with it. We'll get around it. We'll see how this turns out. Now I'm going to try some marbling. Somebody's going to have to help me with this. My marbling did not marble. I'm not unhappy with the effects. I absolutely adore the effects with the way they came out. They're really cool looking. But I was going for the marble effect in it. And for whatever reason, it just did not marble. Somebody tell me how to marble this stuff. I thought I did all the things. I thought I did all the things right. But apparently I didn't. Now, I did not mix up enough. I will let you know ahead of time. When making one of these skulls, if you have this mold, you are going to need a full 450. I guess it's milliliters, I think is what this cup measures in. 450. Nope, it can't be milliliters because that's what the little cups measure in. And yeah, 450 wouldn't even touch the nose hole. Whatever these ginormous cups are for painters, the 450 mark. You have to fill it with powder to that mark and then add your water. And that is exactly what you will need to fill one of these skulls. I'll have to look at it and figure out what those measurements are because honestly it just gives numbers. It doesn't give ml. It doesn't give ounces. It doesn't give grams. Thank God it wasn't ounces. Good grief, could you imagine? That would have been about 37 buckets. But yeah. So 450 on the painter's mixer cups. And I know you know which ones I'm talking about. The really big ones. I think they're like 2 pints or something. Almost a quart of a cup. They're huge cups. I love them. Especially for working with the ceramic resin. I do need to find something a little more flexible. And I don't like using the silicone cups for the mix to mold. It's a little too flexible. And it's really easy to collapse when you're mixing. And because, I mean, especially if you've got a heavy hand when you're holding on to something. And since I don't always feel my hands, there is squish issues from time to time. But I'm going to get this mixed in and get it to about a buttermilk consistency. That's what you want when it comes to mixed to mold, resin crete, God forbid, magic pour if you use it. The biggest problem I have with magic pour, I love how white that it will cure out. But I do not love that you have 30 seconds to mix it before it starts setting. And I've seen other creators trying to debunk that, even though the instructions say that. Just keep adding water, keep adding water, keep adding water. Going, I don't understand why it's getting thick. Well, it's getting thick because you got 30 seconds. That's literally it. 30 seconds and then it starts setting. And continuously adding water is not going to avoid that. What it's going to do is cause discoloration with any pigment that you put in there, and it's going to make it have just the wonky layered look coloring that just looks like it was just an epic fail project, you know. And I've seen people with their gaslighting. Oh, you didn't fail, the project failed, the product failed you. No, you failed you by continuously adding water. But anyways, get off mixed magic pour. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this candle dye from HTV Front. and give it a good shake. Now, I do believe that these are just literally alcohol inks, but I think they're a little more pigmented than alcohol ink. They still didn't marble. I still didn't get my marble. Somebody help. I'm going to squeeze some down in there. Who knows? Maybe I used too much. Maybe I used too little. I don't know. I just don't know. But this is black. And we're going to see if we can get us a black and white marble. We did not. That still came out pretty cool. And I'm okay with that as long as it came out cool, right? I should have known by looking at it that, yeah, marble was not what's going to go on in this skull. But get the little spatula scraped off. Now, the spatulas that I have, I got 2 of them. They came with my deep pour resin. They're huge, and I love them, especially for mixing the mix to mold. They're much larger than the spatula that usually comes with the ceramic resins. But they're a lot sturdier. There's not a lot of flexibility in the blade piece, and I love that. But we're going to get this mixed in and poured. And as I said, did not mix up enough because I did not have... It's the first one of these I've poured in ceramic resin, and it does take a lot of ceramic resin. And these things are heavy when they're done. Woo! Tie it on a rope and swing it over your head. Probably nobody gets close. But I'm going to mix up some more and get him finished filled up. And give him the old tappy wappy, as Steve McDonald says. Give him the old squishy wishy in the cheekies. Because goodness knows I do not want bubbles in these ceramic resin ones. I mean, we don't want bubbles in any of them, but ceramic resin tends to enjoy bubbles. It seems to invite them. So we're just going to go ahead and try to avoid them at all costs. I'm going to go ahead and fill this cup up with more mix to mold. Get it mixed in. Wipe my blade off. And I'm just going to mix it in the same cup since I'm using the same color. I'm not going to be too hard pressed about it. I had to move in from outside doing this voiceover in that beautiful weather because that chair I was sitting in just was not it. All you could hear is squeak, crack, squeak, crack. There's an old wooden chair. I need to get a new chair for out there. But you know, I live in Texas where it rains 92% of the time. So, you know, you don't really want to put anything out there worth anything because between the rain, the humidity, the heat, nothing lasts that you put outside. But we'll get a little more of this mixed mold mixed up, get that skull finished off, and then move on to the next one. And I don't need a lot to finish it off because I was so close. So close. I was about maybe, I'd say, a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch off of it being filled up. But we'll get this stirred in, get it to the proper consistency. Add a little bit more color to it. Get a tiny bit more water because it is still just a wee bit too thick. No, I think I got it a wee bit too thin. Yeah, just a little more powder. Make sure everything's off the bottom and nothing's stuck down there. And, you know, I'm not going to add the color. I'm just going to pour because it's going to go down into the center. And hopefully that will push out some veining. It didn't. But that was the thought process. It didn't. And I'm going to get him squished over here to the side. And that's where I realized, you know, that horrible little skull was just right in my way. Get out of here, little guy. It's not your turn. And we'll get that moved up here. And then we can get on with the next one after I wipe up some of this mess. Definitely got to get a new mat. I have... Or just clean this one. I mean, that might still work. I don't know. But I did get a cut in it from... I don't remember what I was cutting, but why I thought that I should do it on the mat. Not the first time, y'all. Probably not going to be the last time. Yeah, we will mix up some more. So how's everybody doing out there in the wonderful world of epoxy land and epoxy videos? I hope everybody's doing really well. I hope everybody has their health. I hope everybody's looking at future wealth. And I just hope you're all just having an all-around good day. So much yuck in this world that good days are hard to come by for a lot of people. And I understand it for sure. Some days I wake up and I'm just like, I don't even want to move. Enough is enough. The air doesn't feel the same when you wake up in the morning as it did, while, I don't know if it's age. I really don't. But even my son said, Mama, I noticed what you're talking about. The air does feel so much heavier when you wake up and walk outside. It's not brisk anymore. It doesn't feel like a new day. It just seems like one long day that fades in and out. Yeah, he gets it. But I do hope everybody's doing very well. Definitely going to need some more water. Because that's not going to work. I don't know why I thought I should keep stirring. I'm going to mash up them lumps I've created in there. Scrape the stick. There we go. There we go. Let's use the little whiskey. Now these whisks, I mean, they're cool. They really are. But I wish they were sturdier. They are flexible like you would not imagine. And they bend easy, especially if you have like a thicker consistency to your little concoction. If anything sticks to the bottom, like, I'm having issues with right now. Which this is my own fault because I don't know why I thought I could just mix a fresh batch of mixed mold on top of that wee bit that I had left in the bottom. Because it hadn't been there long, but it had been there just long enough to go, hey, we don't want fresh on us. We don't want to play with you. But in the end, I got it. I won. I look like I'm mixing up some heavy bread batter or something. It's still pretty thick. It needs more water, definitely. I look like a little kid trying to make cookie batter the way I was holding that for a second there. But I want to make sure I get everything scraped off the bottom because I don't want lumps dropping down into my project. It's kind of like gravy. Nobody wants lumps in the gravy. Scrape the bottom. See, yeah, still some coming up on the stick. I like mixed mold. I just feel like Resin mixes better. Get my little whiskey out again here. And there we go. Now we can do the next skull. I don't think the Halloween collab did as well as everybody hoped it would. On average, about 1.2 thousand views on a video. In pretty rapid succession, pretty quick. But this Halloween collab video that we did, I think I'm at just under 400 views on it, and it's been a week since we did it, which is tough. It's tough, especially when you're trying to get your 4,000 watch hours to become a YouTube partner. Because to become partner and have your channel monetized, it's 1,000 subscribers, and people have to have watched an accumulation of 4,000 hours of video from you. And when those collabs don't do very good, because regular videos, you know, being a small creator, very rarely do you get one that goes semi-viral where it gets a lot of views. So on average, you do about 200, 250 views on them when you're running about 600 subs. And yeah, this one just, the Halloween collab just wasn't it, I guess. I guess people don't enjoy Halloween as much as everyone enjoys other holidays. But that's okay. We push on, we persevere, and we do more. Now, the one thing I did run in with this, and I was going to show it on the video, and I just realized I forgot to include it, and I had already deleted the pictures, and I apologize for that. But when I demold these, they look one way, but you will see at the end of the video, something happened while they were finishing curing in their 24-hour period that I did not expect. I asked my friend Cookie about it, and she said she's seen it happen in someone else's projects that they've done, so it's not abnormal. But even the person who uses it, and they exclusively use mixed mold for their ceramic resin. I don't think I've seen them use anything else in a while, but I also don't watch their videos very often anymore. There's something about tone and things you say that yeah, you'll get me to quit watching you really quick if I hear any form of disrespect and just rudeness. I'm not a tolerant person when it comes to that. But anyways, I'm not going to name names, but with these skulls, they come out, well, you'll see how they turn out. And then when I demold them and show you, I'll explain to you what happened so you know what you're looking at, and don't think I've slid in extra skulls that and said that they were these, because it was really actually weird. But I'm going to go ahead and use the lilac. I used pink over on the last one that I did. And I'm sticking mainly to the alcohol inks. I thought that would be a good idea. It was not. I've been watching so many resin videos lately, and I finally got out of the rabbit hole of the slot machine videos. Oh my goodness, you guys do not start watching those. Because if you find anybody you even remotely enjoy, you will fall down this deep, dark rabbit hole of watching people spin slot machines. It was terrible. But I've been watching a lot of resin videos, and one of the creators, I was watching her, and somebody had commented on her page that she chats too much when she's making a video. Well, what do you mean somebody chats too much? How on earth can we chat too much? Literally, do you just want us to start the video, say nothing, run the video, or just go, hey, this is what we're doing today. Have a nice day. Here's the video. And then just let it go. Because let me tell you something. Not everybody knows how to add music and stuff to these videos. If you've never edited a video, you do not know the struggle. It is hard. Especially if you're working with a complicated editing software. But to tell somebody that, hey, you chatted too much in your video, well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be here to entertain you. We're supposed to walk you through step by step what we're doing. And literally that's what she does. She doesn't have any of this weird outside conversation like I tend to wander off. Forgive my ADD, it happens. But we did have some extra. So we did pour this. And I forgot what I was already talking about. I apologize. Oh, but yeah, you chat too much. Nobody chats too much. I very much enjoy the step-by-step, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my thought process. Because you know what? I'm watching you to pick up tips. So I need to know what your thought process was. Because if I need to adjust that because maybe your project didn't work out exactly what you were hoping for. Because you've explained to me what you were hoping for. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now let me go try it if that's something I'm interested in, or if it's a technique I want to try. And let me see if I can tweak on it and maybe go, do it a little bit of a different way and see if it comes out the way you were hoping it would, so I can help you because you helped me. So, so, hey, you chat too much? No. But I made some of these little ring holders with some of the extra. These things fly off the handle. I send them as extra to my fizzing girls over on TikTok when they order jewelry boxes and stuff. But they're cute. I mean, they're good for putting by your sink. So when you go to wash your hands, because you're not supposed to wash your hands with your jewelry on, you just pop your ring off, drop it in your little holder, wash your hands, dry your hands, put your ring back on. It's right there. You're not setting it on the counter or taking the chance of it sliding off and going down the drain. Or when you shower, when you take off your rings, they're good to have in the bathroom or put next to the bedside. They're cool little things to have. As I said something about chat too much, I feel self-conscious about talking. How terrible is that? Go ahead and dust up this resin here. And of course, I did have quite a bit of extra because, I wanted a little bit of extra because I had a few little things I wanted to pour. And this is a ring tower that you can drop your ring down on. You'll usually see the girls that are showing jewelry, or in a jewelry store, you'll see the little cone-shaped ones, but these ones are pyramid-shaped. I like how that turned out. You can see the different colors in it. Super pretty. But this, too, did exactly what the skulls did that I poured with the pink and the purple, which is just crazy to me. They're still a bit warm, but they are solid, so they could be demolded. And like I said, demolding these things is such a beast. I wish they were made out of just a little bit softer silicone. But, oh my goodness, these things. The struggle. The struggle is real. Clean off the excess from the overpour where it splotched out when I moved it. Now, once you can get this mold flipped up all the way around on the bottom, and I'm not a fan of a mold that I have to roll, because over time it will do damage to your mold. It stretches it out, and it just makes it, ugh. They eventually become unusable because they've been stretched out so much from this. But yeah, we'll get it rolled off. Get it turned back right side out. And where did the color go? Now, please remember how pale this is. I actually really did love this because you could fully see, the purple in it. But after it set for a while, it was like the color started bleeding out through the resin. And it did it on that one, on the one I just demolded and the one I'm demolding now, and gave it a much more vibrant color, but it turned my purple a weird pink. I wasn't looking for pink. I wanted the purple. I have to use a darker purple next time. But you will see in the glamour shots at the end just what these two skulls did and how the color surfaced more after sitting for an extended period of time. I'm not mad at it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at it. It was surprising to me to see that it had happened. This one really doesn't want to come out of the mold. And I think my fingers are going to be proverbially, I don't even think that's the right word now that I've said it. They're going to be forever pink. I got some of that ink on them when I was putting it in the resin, and it just, ugh. See, I love how this turned out. I do, but like I said, it does not stay this way. The color is going to come more to the surface. Still not mad at it, but just was not expecting it. But yeah, I love these skulls. They're so cool. I know they're really popular amongst a lot of people, especially people who purchase this line of stuff. And like I said, these ceramic ones, ooh, doggy, are they heavy. And they do take a lot of resin. A lot. I would say out of a bucket of mix to mold, which is a 5-pound bucket, you would probably get 4 out of it. Maybe 5, but I doubt it. But definitely 4 to 5 is all you're going to get out of a bucket of mix to mold. And like I said, that's the 5-pound bucket, and that ought to give you an idea as to how much powder these things actually take. Now we're going to demold this black one. Now, he didn't bleed like the others did. He did not. He stayed exactly as he was. He behaved himself. But yeah, I like how he turned out, especially with that dark stripe. I guess he did kind of produce a little more color over time, but not as much as the other two did. But yeah, I really like him. I think they all turned out really well, and we'll do more. Up next are your glamour shots. Thank you. Hit that like button. Have a nice day.